Hi everyone, welcome to Life in the Eye of Tony Coaching. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for tuning in today, and if you like what you see at the end of this, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that way you are notified every time I post new content. So Aries and I are out here in Sample Meadow, which is near Shaver Lake, California, and we are camping. We've had a pretty good day, and this is our day 2. So I was feeling called to do Reiki, and then all of a sudden, a herd of cow and bull literally were walking toward us on the meadow. So that will be continued another time. Today, what I want to get into is projection. Projection is basically the ego's defense mechanism, because projection is it is an illusion, and it is an illusion that leads you to false happiness. And what I mean by that is, for example, let's say you have had a really rough go at it. You're struggling financially, you're struggling in your relationships, you're struggling with your family, you're struggling with, your friendships, you're struggling with everything. Let's just say you're having a really bad time. Okay, so the next time you meet someone, you're projecting everything that you want out of life onto them. Like, you want them to have the best communication, you want them to be loyal, you want them to do this, and you want them to do this because dot 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 it's going to make you happy. That projection onto somebody else is always going to be a false illusion, because no one else can ever give you something to make you happy. Not lasting anyways. Like, you might think like, okay, yeah, this person gave me a gift and they gave me attention and they gave me the time that I needed to feel heard and seen, and I do feel happy. Great, that's awesome. Okay, what about when it's gone? Right? So when it's gone, then again, once again, you're left feeling, oh, this person doesn't care about me, this person doesn't give me the time or day, this person isn't there for me like I thought they were, and the list goes on, because the projection was a false illusion towards your fulfillment. So we can never fulfill ourselves with something outside of us, and the ego is always going to do its job to try and stay alive. And the way that it does that is by creating these circumstances of false illusions that lead you down a road toward fulfillment and peace. But then when you get there, you realize, well, it's been taken from me because I forced it to happen, because one, I tried to control the situation, I tried to manipulate, I tried to do everything that I could do to make it happen, when I didn't trust and go inward and work on everything that was inside of me, because that's what I was really running from. And now all of a sudden I'm here at the end dealing with the same feeling that I was running from, because one, the illusion didn't work. So I want you to think of projection as like a mirage. On a hot sunny day, or not even a hot sunny day, sometimes you can just, the heat, you see it from a distance. And that mirage is like, it's almost like you can see the heat emanating from the road, but then once you get closer, it's not there. But then it's always out in the distance, and it's like, okay, no, you got to keep going. And then you go and you go and you go, and then it's not there. That is projection. That is the ego's defense mechanism. It's always leading you to something that's never really there, because it doesn't really exist. It's an illusion. So once we know that and can come to terms with that, like, honestly say to ourselves, like, I realize I'm projecting, I realize that I'm chasing a false illusion. Okay, now I'm going to turn inward. The ego is still going to do everything that it can do to try and lead you away from moving into that place of going within and truly embodying and taking accountability, like your own stuff, so that way you can heal. The ego is going to do everything that it can. Okay, so Another way that the ego will project is not by creating a false illusion that, when you meet this person, you're going to be happy forever. When you have this job, it's going to bring you everything that you've ever wanted. When you have, this friendship, it's going to be the friendship unlike any other. And all of a sudden, you're going to be going to X, Y, and Z and just like experiencing life in such a different way, right? Once those projections have failed, the ego is going to do something else. And this is the projection that often gets in the way of most relationships, because it's the trickery of the ego that tries to create separation in your relationships, and you're going to project onto the other person. So let's say a problem happens, okay? And you feel something and you blame it on that other person. That is projection, okay? And the reason for this, and I'm going to give you a little an example to explain this. Sorry, I realize I'm like talking a little funny, but all right. So my example for this would be, imagine a cup, okay? And a cup is full, and you're holding the cup, okay? And you are filling that cup from within you. So like you're taking in the cup and you're scooping it out, and then, you're holding within you what is in that cup, okay? Someone comes and bumps you, and you spill out. The cup spills, okay? Whatever you spilt was within you already. So whatever the other person did just brought that out of you, okay? Because it was meant for you to deal with. So let's say someone literally bumps into you and you're holding a cup and you get angry, okay? You are already angry inside of you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have projected that anger onto that person for bumping into you, because in the end, it was just an accident. So that person bumping into you was asking you to work on your anger, and you could take a step back and be like, okay, like I'm really mad about X, Y, and Z. Like I have a lot of anger inside of me, and Aries was chewing his ball, so I'm going to take that away for now. Right? So whatever the person is bringing out of you was already within you. And the reason why we turn and blame it onto another person is because we're not ready to deal with it. That's the truth. You either are ready or you aren't ready, and you're going to continually project onto another person until you become aware and conscious, and then you become ready, and then you start taking on that journey, which, like I'm saying, it's not an easy journey, but it is worthwhile, because all of the effort and hard work that you're putting into it is going to pay off in the end, because you're literally freeing yourself from anger, from jealousy, from greed, from resentment, from bitterness, from contempt, from judgment, from all of these low vibrational feelings, okay? And each time a person brings it out of you, you have the opportunity to say, okay, I'm not going to project the feelings that I have about this situation onto them. I'm going to go work on myself and take care of what's within me. And then I'm going to deal with whatever happened. Like, next time, could you be more careful walking, and it'll come from a place of peace, and that person would probably be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. And then you're going to be like, ha 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 ha, yeah, I know, right? And then you're going to go about your day and you're going to be living from a different vibration because you worked on your stuff. That's what the ego doesn't want you to do. The ego wants you to continually blame and project because it creates separation. And the more separate you become, the more it has control. The ego is not a bad thing, and this is something that I've heard before. The ego is a horrible master, but a loyal servant. So that's why, as you continue to humble yourself, in these moments where you no longer project onto another person, but take ownership of the stuff that's within you, you humble yourself. You say, okay, I realize that my unhappiness in this situation is not because of the other person, but because of something that I'm already carrying within me. So they just trigger that unhappiness, and now I'm dealing with it, okay? So now I go inside and I take care of it myself, and I restore my own happiness by doing whatever it is that I need to do. Maybe I need to cry. Maybe I need to journal. Maybe I need to go out and kick and scream. Maybe I need to go do some exercise. Maybe I need to create a better eating system. Maybe I need to create some better habits with, the things that I allow into my mind and into my, energy. And once I do that, then I realize, wow, okay, I did. I took care of myself. I released all the unhappiness and I replaced it with a sense of gratitude for that moment and being able to work on it. And now you've humbled yourself into that person, that there is no more separation. There's no more, you're not saying, you did this to me, therefore I'm not speaking to you, I'm not communicating with you, this and this and that. Okay? There's a time where you do need to take space. That's not separation. That's for you. That's to work on you. There's a difference there. Don't get that confused. Don't get, I need to take space for myself right now as separation. Honestly, that is more loving to the other person than staying in a space with them and pretending like it's okay, because then you're going to be more vulnerable to reacting from your ego, when you could say, hey, I need to take space for myself right now to just work on some things, and I'll call you in a couple of days. Then that person knows, like, okay, they're not projecting onto me, they're really doing what's healthy for them. I have to understand. And if they project and say, like, that's so wrong, why would you leave me, this and this and that, well, then that's their problem, and that's something that they need to work on, and they're projecting onto you now. So in the end of the day, those are two of the main forms of projection that you're going to encounter. Either projection of a false illusion that's leading you to this destination where you're going to become happy and fulfilled and all of your problems are going to be solved, or you're going to project onto another person, and therefore that is going to create resistance and separation within that relationship, and then that is going to create conflict, making you feel more conflict, making them feel conflict, and then just you're never taking care of what's really going on inside of you, because you're saying that it's this person's problem, when really in the end it's been your problem all along. And that's the truth, and I hate to say that, but that is the truth. So whenever you project onto somebody else, you're really avoiding some pain or something that you don't want to confront within yourself. But once you do, you humble yourself and you say, you know what, okay, this isn't this person's problem. I'm owning my stuff and I'm ready to deal with it. Okay, so I hope that helped. If it did, let me know how. Let me know your realizations, your epiphanies, anything that you may have encountered. Maybe you're like, holy crap, that really opened my mind. And let me know. So until then, I will see you the next post. Have a great, wonderful day, everyone. Bye.